I'm in ChatGPT, and we're going to do a presentation to the senior leadership team. And oh my gosh, I am so nervous. I've never presented to them. I have done a PowerPoint for Caring Health, who wants to build a new bed tower. I did it in Gamma. It's a fictitious organization, but it created a 30-page document. Looks great as a great draft for building a new tower for Caring Health. Then I also built the senior team's characteristics. And you're like, really? You did that? Oh, yes. And this is a fictitious senior team, but I have a CFO, CEO, CMO, CNO, CIO, and one more position that I can't remember. But I actually created this senior leadership team, and now I'm going to share the presentation with ChatGPT as well as the senior leadership team. Now, I will caution you, do not put confidential information into ChatGPT unless you're on an enterprise version that your organization supports. Anything you share will be shared publicly. You can turn off sharing your information in ChatGPT, but there's no guarantee of privacy or security of your information. So I just want to caution you. That is why I am using a fictitious company and not just pulling something from what I've worked on, because I think it's important you either de-identify the information so that you can do the analysis, or you don't put it in ChatGPT at all and you just have a conversation with ChatGPT about things you're thinking about. So with that, I am the VP of Facilities. I am presenting to the senior leadership team and would like thoughts about the questions they each may have. Provide 2 questions per SLT member that I should be aware they may ask. Okay, so we do this. It's comparing the deck now to the senior leadership team, and it's about their title, how long they've been there, their personal characteristics that I see, what they're focused in. For example, the CFO may have more of a what people call a CFO no mentality, which just means really they want to guard the resources of the organization. But here's the CEO. Here's how does this investment align with a long-term strategic plan? How will this strengthen our position as a healthcare leader? In Benevolent. Benevolent is the fictitious town that I've chosen, so I should have probably shared that. CNO, how are we addressing nurse staffing levels and morale as we expand? Some of these questions you go, oh, these are pretty, routine questions, right? Well, you can also say, hey, are there any unique questions that might be out of the box? And you can ask it that. But what I'm going to do is now ask Chat to review the presentation and give me feedback on it and ask me any clarifying questions it might have. Now, I'm typing, but a lot of times this little microphone down here is you can transcribe and just talk to it and it'll type for you. So this little microphone will allow you to transcribe or dictate. Unfortunately, my microphone is being used by this, and so we're going to have to deal with my typing again. So I want to say evaluate the attached presentation as my objective is to gain support from the SLT so we can move forward for board approval. All right. Ask me any clarifying questions one at a time, and then provide me feedback, including anything that is missing and where I should consider placing it in the presentation. Okay, here we go. First question, what is the exact decision you want SLT support at the end of the presentation? Approve the project as presented, including the financial budget. I'm making up stuff as we go. How much time do you have for the presentation? This is very important because you can say I have 30 minutes. So it's going to be looking at the deck. It may, see now it's stopped asking me questions. So what it does well, so ChatGPT tends to be very nice to start, and it'll always be very positive until you tell it to not be so positive. Here's what's missing. Opening slide, ask for the decision. I didn't start the presentation with what my objective for the meeting is. Here's a benefit summary, kind of right after the executive, why this matters to the senior. After the benefit summary, why does this matter to the senior leadership team? And it lists them. Here are some of the key things. Snapshot of what we get for $410 million. Just a quick snapshot. What happens if we do nothing? Shorten the timeline slides, a single combined roadmap. And then look what it does. Would you like help creating those missing slides in a format ready to insert into the PowerPoint? Well, it can do that for you. Now, we're not going to do any more with this, but you can go present to the SLT. And when you present to the SLT, you write down the questions they have. You can come back to this thread, particularly if you have to do more work, and you can type in, here are the questions I was asked by the senior leadership team. I need to update the presentation for these things, and I want to make sure I address their questions. Even though they were answered during the meeting, I want them addressed in the deck. How do I update the deck? Where do I put it? And what are your suggestions? And then ask me one question at a time if you need clarity, and then produce the answer. So how fun is that? I mean, we're talking about having fun today, but think about how much time and mental churning this stops, that you can start thinking in a higher place.